Pokemon Legends ZA was announced well over a year ago, and in that time we've gotten nearly no new info. I mean, we know the starters, a few characters, and a new Mega, but that's it. However, the lack of news has given me some good time to speculate, so first off, I would like to start by what I think ZA actually means, because I remember when it was first announced in the Presents, I was so puzzled by the A. The Z clearly means Zygarde, and they intentionally had the dash fade in, followed by the A fade in, so I feel like it's gotta have some specific meaning. I originally thought it meant Zygarde Arceus, kind of being like a part 2 of Legends Arceus, but knowing what we know now, I don't think it's that, and I really hope it's not. Before I share what I think ZA implies, if you don't know what Zygarde really does, in short, it monitors the Kalos region for any abnormalities. So, in other words, it's like a natural Pokemon that's scoping the region for things that aren't native to Kalos' ecosystem, right? And that got me thinking, maybe the title is supposed to be read as Zygarde versus Artificial. Now, when you hear that, it's gonna sound kinda odd, right? But just let it sit for a bit, think about it. The Pokemon that defends the balance of nature versus some man-made power that's out to screw up that balance. My wording might not be the best, but maybe you could see where I'm coming from. And I'm sure your next question is, what artificial entity is Zygarde so worried about in these games? Man-made Mega Evolutions. I know it sounds really weird, I know that, but just hear me out. I was trying to think of what really makes a Mega Pokemon Mega, and I don't mean like the design-wise or gameplay-wise, I'm talking about in like the lore of the story and of Pokemon, and it kind of reminded me of the Genesect movie, where they refer to Mega Mewtwo, which is the first Mega we've, really seen, as the Legend Awakened. And I'll get back to Mega Mewtwo later in the video, but I want to focus on the term Awakened. I feel like every Mega Pokemon, like Tyranitar and Houndoom, have some sort of power inside them that's like awakened upon Mega Evolution. The perfect example of this would be something like Mega Aerodactyl, where its Ultra Moon Dex entry states that Mega Evolution awakened some dormant genes, bringing back the sharp rocks that once covered Aerodactyl's entire body. Mega Slowbro's Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Dex entries outright say that upon Mega Evolution, it awakens and gains power from it. So, my point, more or less, is I think like Mega Evolution is pulling out whatever power and energy is like deep inside the Pokemon. Kind of like getting to its like true form, almost, in a way. But what does any of that have to do with ZA, right? And how can I make a theory video when we have a single Mega Evolution that's been revealed? You might have seen online people saying that Mega Dragonite looks bad or lazy or whatever. I think it was intentionally designed to be quote-unquote lazy. I found it incredibly weird that during the most recent Pokemon Presents that they outright described Mega Dragonite as having quote-unquote Dragonair-like features. I mean, if you think about it, there's no other Mega Pokemon that looks similar or has a description that alludes to it looking similar to its pre-evolution. But I think that's kind of the point of Mega Dragonite. You see, I believe Dragonite has no real, power inside of it that Mega Evolution can naturally draw out. So I believe it's being forced to Mega Evolve, which kind of makes it, regress in a way to be able to use that new Mega energy. If you're not interested in leaks, probably skip ahead to the time that's on screen. It's not story leaks or anything, but just some new Mega Evolutions that kind of help my theory. But if you're still here, you might have seen Mega Starmie, and you probably said that it sucks. And I agree, it doesn't even look like a regular evolution, let alone a Mega Evolution. But that's the point, I kind of think, It has no true power to take advantage of, so upon Mega Evolution, it's just forced to do whatever it can with that newfound Mega energy. If you've seen Mega Dragology, it just looks fucked up. There's no other way to describe it, but it just looks completely messed up. But the same, idea as Starmie and Dragonite, that upon Mega Evolution, its body kind of just morphs and contorts because of that, new energy that it can't properly wield. If you look at some Pokemon like Mega Aggron or Mega Gengar, they kind of just look more refined, because I feel it's internal energy that's reacting to the Mega Stone, But artificial Megas, in a sense, like Dragonite, have to draw the power from somewhere, something like Mega Salamence, right? awakens that dormant power inside it upon Mega Evolution. Something like Dragonite, they don't have the actual capabilities, that internal energy to help the Mega Evolve. Does that make sense? I'm not at all the best at putting my thoughts into words, so I really hope you guys can kind of see like where I'm coming from with this, you know what I mean? My main, I guess, overall theory though is that Quasartico is forcing these Pokemon to Mega Evolve, which is why they just flat out don't look normal, you know what I mean? So why are they forcing these Pokemon to Mega Evolve? I don't know, but that's just kind of my idea for like the meaning of ZA, the meaning of Mega Evolution, that it's Zygarde versus artificial Mega Evolution, or Zygarde versus like something in that sense. Allowing the possibility of artificial Mega Evolutions can also help close a plot hole that's annoyed me for a very long time, that if Mewtwo is a man-made Pokemon, how come it's able to Mega Evolve if Mega Evolution is described as a natural phenomenon that's meant to bring out a Pokemon's, true potential? How does a Pokemon that's made by scientists have a Mega? Maybe Mewtwo could have just been our first look at an artificial Mega Evolution, like 15 years ago, Obviously, the Megas could just look different because they haven't designed a Mega in over a decade, but I feel like there's something more to it than just an artistic choice. And of course, the name could be very on the nose and just refer to like the ZA Royale, but I really doubt that. Or it could be Zygarde Awakened. Anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about my theory, and if you have your own ideas, I would love to hear them. If you've enjoyed, a like on this video would mean a whole lot, and also feel free to subscribe. I've been hovering around the 1500 subscriber mark for a while now, so I would kind of like to surpass it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you later. Shine on.